Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm here to talk about The Flash, episode 315, titled The Wrath of Savitar, which premiered Tuesday, March 7th, 2017 on the CW. So guys, huge spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the episode already, please go do so first, and then come back and see what I have to say about the episode. Otherwise, other video reminders are up on screen right now. Take a moment to remind yourselves of those, and then let's start with the 10-minute clock. And let's begin with what happened this episode. So, timeline-wise, it was specifically stated by Wally that it has been 1 week since the previous episode, since 314, since he started hallucinating Savitar being back, which is the episode reminder, and the fact it is that Savitar comes back. He's set free, I guess, you will, which I just spoiled it, so duh. But the villain, again, is Savitar. But episode breakdown, though, we get 3 of them, or I found 3 of them. You got Training Wally, you got Savitar's mind games, and then you have a proposal being announced. Kind of count that as a third one, but I'll let you take it as you will. So the first storyline shows Wally being trained by Barry and with help by Jesse, and Wally actually reaches the speed he needs to save Iris at the very beginning of the episode. However, Savitar mind games on him anyways, which is number 2. But either way, we also see Wally getting Cisco to vibe him to the future, where he knows there's a few key details he takes back with him to the present. It kind of starts a shitstorm of his own right there. Second storyline, though, again, deals with Savitar's mind games. So Savitar gets inside Wally's head and manipulates him into throwing the last of the Brahmastra stone, or the Philosopher's Stone, into the Speed Force, which is where Savitar has been imprisoned. Because now Savitar has the whole stone, he's now set free. And in his place, Wally swaps place with him. Apparently. Don't know why. But, yeah. Third storyline-ish is the fact that the proposal that Barry gave to Iris at the end of the last episode, we get an answer at the beginning. She says yes, but by the end of the episode, she kind of takes it back, since she's not wearing the ring anymore. So there's that little sad moment. But the last moments of the episode really show Barry reeling from the idea that his fear is what caused their current situation, and you just see everybody reeling over the fact that Savitar is back. Wally is stuck in the Speed Force. They have no idea how to proceed from this. So there's that. Tidbit-wise, though, guys, Julian kissed Caitlin. It was very quick, but he wanted to do it just in case she changed her mind about him after he has Savitar take over his mind again, which he does, I think, 2 or 3 times in this episode for them to get more answers from them. So there's that. Kind of like I want to do this just in case you change your mind or just because something happens to me type thing. Also, we are informed that Barry's Flashpoint actually gave Savitar the idea to create Kid Flash so he can make him fast enough to swap spots with him. So I guess Savitar wanted someone who was just as fast as him so that it would be easy to swap places with him. Free himself and imprison his replacement, I guess you could say. Also, we learned that Savitar mentioned that either he dies or Iris dies. Don't know if that's true or not, if they're connected in some way, but it kind of reminded me of a whole Harry Potter thing going on. Don't know why. And it's not because of Julian. Just saying. So also we get mentions of Savitar's prophecy. I believe it's someone will fall. I don't know who exactly would qualify in this episode for that, but we do find out who the someone who betrays them will be, and that's Caitlin, because she kept a piece of the Philosopher's Stone with her before Barry had thrown it into the Speed Force. And thankfully so, because if they had thrown the whole stone into the Speed Force, Savitar would have been out months ago. So there's that little saving grace right there. And then someone who experiences something worse than death, apparently that's Wally and his fate now in the Speed Force, being trapped there for eternity. So there's that. But moving on, though, to the most shocking moment of the episode. At first, I thought it was Caitlin betraying the team by keeping a piece of the stone. I thought that was pretty shocking in itself, because I didn't think it would be Caitlin, of all people, who would betray them. But then to find out that Savitar is free from his Speed Force prison and that he had forced Wally to take his place, I kind of figured Savitar was going to get free at some point, but I didn't think that he would actually force a swap to happen. I didn't think that needed to happen but that was quite surprising. So there's that. But it was I'll get that into the top 3 favorite moments, which let's go on to right now. First one has to be the announcement to the Flash team about Barry proposing to Iris. It was just great to see that whole happy vibe going on and how they were all cheerful and happy and celebratory about the whole thing. I really like that vibe. I miss that vibe. So I like it. So there's that. Second favorite moment, I have to say, has to be the fight between Barry and Savitar. Yes, it doesn't look very good for Barry, the fact that he's fighting this supposed speed god, but I really liked how it was done. I really liked the graphics behind it. They were just awesome and on point. And it was very entertaining trying to see Barry trying to take off this mask of Savitar's just to see who the man behind the mask is. So his attempts were interesting at best. So there's that. Another favorite moment of mine has to be Jo telling Iris that her love for Barry and the relationship they have, it should be the simplest thing in both of their complicated lives. It's just the whole speech that Jo had about her, saying like he can't tell her what to do. You have to be okay with what you do with your life and all that. I probably have the quotes up on screen right now because I definitely don't have it memorized at this point. But it was very interesting to have that conversation. It was great to see Jo's perspective on it, especially since Jo loves both Barry and Iris. So he can't really pick a side with them. I mean, he can't. So it's just very interesting to get his perspective about the whole thing, how he sees their relationship type thing. So that was interesting in itself. A bonus favorite that I just thought of when I was doing the shocking moments part was the fact that Savitar brought up every flaw that he was kind of cultivating with Wally. He brought up how he was trying to bring distractions to Wally so he would never see the bigger picture at what Savitar was forcing him down a path which would lead to his entrapment. So it's just really interesting to find out that Wally actually played into Savitar's trap. Yes, it's bad for the guy, but if you've been watching a few of my episodes, you know that Wally has not been my favorite character. So while it's sad that he's now separated from team in a fate that's supposedly very worse than death, it was very interesting to have Savitar call Wally out the way he did, if that makes sense. That probably sounds bad too, though. But anyways, moving on to top 3 favorite moments, or top 3 peeved moments. My bad. Well, the only one I really had was the fact that I hate it when characters think they can take things on by themselves, because it always screws up. AKA Wally thinking he had to get rid of the last piece of the stone by himself, and look what happened. He ended up giving the stone to Savitar, which in return trapped Wally in the Speed Force and set Savitar free. He just brought his own fear to life that way. So there's that. Probably have other, I guess you can kind of say there's other shows as well that have that trait happen that it really sucks. I may or may not have them on screen right now, but every time a character always thinks that they can always do something by themselves, they don't get anybody else's help, when it's obvious that if they included other people, it would be a lot better, and then have them go through with it, and then it ends up being infinitely worse than what they were originally with. That always pisses me off. So there's that. Moving on to what will I remember most when I look back on this episode, Savitar's return. Hands down, for sure. There's that. Moving on, random questions. I did have one that was kind of answered throughout the episode, but the question was, why didn't Wally's trip to the future with Cisco, why did it not change like Barry's second trip with Cisco had changed? Second trip with Cisco had showed Barry noticing a Harrison Wells on the rooftop. Yet with Wally's trip, nothing changed. And I guess I asked this, or I wrote the question down because at that time, Iris was wearing the engagement ring. So essentially, shouldn't Wally have seen Iris with a ring on her finger? But then by the end of the episode, when Iris had stopped wearing the ring and I guess kind of wordlessly broken the engagement off, I guess the future that Wally had gone and seen was taking into account the choice that Iris would have made by the end of all of it. But then again, see, this is what's confusing me though, but if Wally went to, engagement was on the go, If Wally went to the future, he should have seen Iris with the ring, because that was a change, and the only reason why it wasn't on her finger later on was because Wally brought back to Iris that Barry only proposed so that he could change that little aspect, or hopefully change that little aspect and hopefully have it change a domino effect. So it just doesn't make sense why it wasn't there to... There's the timer. I know that it wasn't there to begin with the first time because Barry probably never asked her. And then Barry goes the second time, he hasn't asked her yet, so it shouldn't be there. But when Wally goes the third time, Barry had already asked and she already said yes. So the ring should already be there. And then when Wally goes back, he wouldn't have been able to bring up the fact that Iris wasn't wearing the ring, because he would see that she was wearing the ring. And because he told her that she wasn't, that is what caused her to break off the engagement, which led to her not wearing the ring. So I'm very confused. People, please help me out understanding this. I really appreciate it in the comments down below. Last question though. How did future Barry trap Savitar in the Speed Force? I mean, how is that even possible? I really don't know. Isn't the only way to be trapped in the Speed Force is to erase your own existence or something like that? Or is there other fundamental stuff added to it? I have no clue. Would Barry be able to swap places with Savitar and Wally once again? Or does he have to find a different way to stop Savitar? Or is he actually going to have to go the whole death route that Savitar goaded Barry not being able to make in the future? So there's that. I guess we'll have to wait and see though. Moving on though to predictions. Based off the promo for 316, it looks like Barry goes after Wally in the Speed Force. And while in the Speed Force, it looks like Barry encounters some familiar faces in the form of Eddie Thawne, Captain Cold, and Ronnie Raymond, which I'm excited to see all three of them. So there's that. Based off the synopsis, though, for the episode, it reads that desperate to stop Savitar and save his friends, Barry turns to the Speed Force for answers. HR gives Jesse some advice, is the second part. Now, based off of all that, any new questions that I have? Well, one would be the fact that how did Barry and Iris go forward together with their whole engagement being called off? I mean, it's got to be a little awkward, right? And also the fact that it's her brother that's now trapped in the Speed Force, which Barry feels responsible for. So that's got to cause some tension there too, right? I'm not looking forward to it at all. Not really. But also, guys, just so you know, the teaser promo for the next episode for 317, it's already up. And that is the musical crossover with Supergirl, which is airing March 21st. So that's up. It's a little teaser. It shows some footage with Barry and Kara together doing a few dance numbers, but you don't actually hear them sing or anything like that. It's just preparing you for what it kind of looks like an old 20s movie, the way it's set up and everything. So I'm interested to see that, but we'll just wait and see about that. But what did you guys think of the episode? What did you guys like about it? What do you think is going to happen next? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your own thoughts, theories, opinions about all that. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I read blog promos, web clips, quotes, GIFs, synopses, news, all that good stuff, all found in one place. Link is down below for that. Also, it's connected to my WordPress account, which is a bit more organized, but it's still a work in progress, so you can find everything I post through that. But go check it out if you like. And I believe that's everything, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you come back next week to hear what I have to say about the next episode. But until then, guys, this is Mel. Wish you all a great day, great week, wherever you are. Bye for now.